Hi, I'm Jackie Simens. I'm a consulting manager with Velosio. Today, I really want to talk about some of the benefits an organization can have when they increase their capacity for change. I recently went to a change management conference, and the big takeaway for me was steady state is dead. This idea of getting this organization back to a steady, stable spot is just completely, it's dead. We have growing technology such as AI, we have cultural changes, we went through COVID, we're now back. There's a lot to that. And so as one of the panelists at this conference shared some statistics, and I'd like to share those with you here. 17-year high for talent shortages right now. We have some of the biggest skill gaps that organizations have ever seen. What that means is we're hiring and kind of taking on that skill gap, and it's across the board from individual contributors all the way up through leadership. Employee engagement is down. We know this. Something like 73% pre-pandemic were supportive of an organization's vision and new change. It's down to about 40-something%. Turnover rates are extremely high. 40% of workers say they're going to leave in the next 6 months. And like I said, this is at all levels. So you have leadership churn, sponsorship instability. That should be top of mind for everyone, sponsorship instability. So the speaker, one of the panelists, his name was Greg Roth, he really emphasized that this learning capacity needs to come from culture. Historically, we looked at resilience in an organization, and now it needs to be more, how do you adapt and what values, culture, skills do you bring to the table? And it kind of boils down to psychological safety. So if I'm thinking about how to increase an organization's capacity for change and how do we best equip our individual contributors to navigate these turbulent waters, which they're not going anywhere. We're just going to continue to be in this state of change. It's really, how do you increase psychological safety at work? So I think as a leader, you need to lead by example. You need to be vulnerable, open, lead with empathy, make sure it's safe to make a mistake. But in those instances, learn from your failures, celebrate the success, learn from the failures, and it's okay to make a mistake as long as you're learning. Be an active listener. That one cannot be overstressed. Gen Z is very interested in having a seat at the table and being heard. And part of that is just having leadership that's an active listener. Encourage open communication. Questions are good and encouraged. When we look at change management and a communication plan, part of that communication plan should have feedback loops so that you have that open dialogue in all directions. And then just establish your support systems. So you have your champions network typically, but what are the other support systems that can be in place? Mentoring, coaching, team building. All of these things help an organization become more change resilient, or really just have a larger capacity for change. So at Velosio, obviously we do a ton of implementation changes. Some of these ideas that we talked about today in this video really resonate in those deployments because, the steady state is dead. How do we get you on this new tool, this new implementation, and continuously change and make sure that your users are adapting to that new tech? So if you want to talk about, implementation challenges or anything of that note regarding change management, please feel free to reach out, and look forward to continuing the conversation.